Breaking news, a 3.0 earthquake on the west side tonight. This is what it looked like from our CBS 2 seismograph.
It hit at 10:28 p.m. The epicenter was about 2 miles northwest of Santa Monica. Dr. Lucy Jones says Santa Monica is a significant fault, and the chance this is a foreshock to a bigger quake is about 5%. So far, there are no reports of any damage or injuries.
We have more breaking news to tell you about. A brush fire is burning near a freeway in Crestline.
And the man who's accused of starting it has just been arrested. Stu Mundell, live in Sky 2 with the latest. Stu?
This is not happening out here in the Crestline area. This is going to be right off the Highway 18 near the 138. Now, there were a couple of fires out here, and this is what's left of the bigger one. Now, the county crews have been out here, San Bernardino County crews and the Forest Service have been out here working on the ground, knocking down these flames. No evacuations, no homes have been threatened. And while this firefight is continuing out here, and it does look like it's almost out, the fire crews say they'll be here until the morning hours. Highway 18 should be closed while the crews are out here by the 138. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mundell. Pat and Rick, back to you.
And that fire led to a manhunt for an armed arsonist.
And CBS 2's Crystal Cruz continues our live team coverage from the ground where that search may have just ended. Crystal.
Hi, Pat. A deputy told me a 27-year-old man from Blythe, not even from around here, has been taken into custody for starting these 3 fires behind me. Looks like crews are still working on some flames very close to the road up there, and you can see all those engines. Now, this deputy told me the suspect possibly started one of these fires to try to get away from them, try to throw them off his trail. He was caught, and he is now being treated for burns. Officers are working a crime scene up the road. They're going through the suspect's truck looking for any of these weapons that were reported to have been seen on this person, possibly a rifle. Now, meanwhile, a witness described what they saw, described suspicious behavior up here.
There was a guy on the hill on the right side, crawled up the hill a little ways, and there was a fire started. It was probably like 10 feet of fire, and we had seen some rocks in the road, and we were kind of going slow because of the big rocks in the road, and he threw a big old handful of rocks at our truck.
So back out here live, you're taking a look. Crews are working that fire that is extremely close to the road. They'll be out here throughout the night, possibly into the morning. Good thing no homes are being threatened. 1 man in custody tonight, a 27-year-old man from Blythe, still working on why this person did all this out here. Reporting live in Crestline tonight, I'm Crystal Cruz. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Crystal. And we have even more breaking news. An urgent warning is going out to Americans living in and traveling to Europe. CBS 2's Tom Wade is live at LAX with the State Department's terror alert. Tom.
And Pat, people here at LAX are definitely talking about this alert tonight. Many of them stopping by our truck and asking what's going on. The basic premise of it is terrorists can strike at any time, and the State Department wants everyone to be on alert. At LAX, news of a travel alert is circulating. The State Department is warning U.S. citizens about the continued threat of terror attacks across Europe. Kylie Biggs works for a tech company. Many of their staffers were based in Berlin.
We had a lot of employees that were over there really close to the Christmas market terrorist attack, so that was really scary for a lot of our team members.
The alert comes in the wake of the most recent attack in France on the famed Champs-Élysées in Paris. 1 police officer was killed, and in March a terrorist went on a rampage in the heart of London, killing 4 people. According to the latest alert, extremists continue to focus on tourist locations, transportation hubs, markets, shopping malls, and local government facilities as viable targets. It's warnings like these that force Kylie Biggs' company to bring their staff home from Germany.
We actually pulled all of our employees that are international from the U.S. from Berlin back to the U.S. because we didn't want to deal with that anymore. And it's too overwhelming and stressful for them personally to be over there.
And while international travelers we spoke with are heeding the alerts, there's also defiance.
I'm trying to keep my eyes on it, and I'm especially a little nervous because I'm bringing a group of students.
And the State Department is asking people who do travel abroad, specifically to Europe, to register with local consulates and embassies. And you can find a link for that registration site on our website, cbsla.com. That's the latest from LAX. I'm Tom Waite live here. Let's go back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Tom. Behind the scenes drama in Hollywood, members of the Writers Guild of America are on the verge of going on strike within the next hour. CBS 2's Elsa Ramon is live in Sherman Oaks with late-breaking details. Elsa?
Well, Rick and Pat, right now, things remain unchanged. The last word we got was that things were going well, but there's still no deal. Now, some of the writers or people I talked to tonight off camera said they don't want to strike if they don't have to. A lot of them remember what it was like back in 2007 being out of work, but they say they will if they have to.
Pretty sure that's a myth.
The midnight deadline is fast approaching for the creative engines driving your favorite shows. The Writers Guild of America could walk off your favorite shows if talks break down between the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents broadcast and cable networks and movie studios.
They want more compensation for doing more work than ever. As you can see, there's so much scripted television on TV these days. They're also looking for the studios to contribute more to their health insurance.
Andy Wallenstein of Variety magazine told us tonight if the two sides can't come to an agreement, the ripple effect a strike would have on many in the industry behind the scenes would be crippling.
If productions halt to a crawl, so many different parts of the catering business, camera equipment, everyone is affected.
The industry is hoping to avoid a work stoppage like the 100-day strike in 2007 that gave rise to unscripted reality TV. Shows were forced into reruns, new movie production was put on hold, and late-night talk show hosts delivered impromptu monologues.
The strike of 2007-2008 casts a long shadow over the negotiations today. I don't think either writers or studios want to go through with this. I think you'll only see it happen if the writers feel they most absolutely have to.
Tonight, I've been checking a lot of verified Twitter accounts of writers here on TV shows and movies, and none of them are reporting any change in negotiations right now. But we're all standing by and waiting to see if there is some kind of decision tonight. Again, Rick and Pat, less than an hour to go before that deadline hits at midnight. And the person I talked to with Variety tonight says we could very well see these people on the picket lines tomorrow if there is no deal.
All right, affects us too. Thank you very much, Elsa. Well, a $10,000 reward is expected to be approved tomorrow in the desperate search for a South Pasadena 5-year-old. It's been more than 2 weeks since Aramaz Andresian Jr. was reported missing.
He'd been with his father, who was found unconscious. Andresian Sr. says he doesn't remember what happened. LA County supervisors will discuss the reward tomorrow.
Well, these armed robbery suspects are in jail tonight. Police say they are linked to 3 separate holdups. A Brave donut shop owner is credited with helping to catch them. And CBS 2's Rachel Kim is live in Burbank with an interview that you'll see only on CBS 2. Rachel.
Well, Pat, even police were amazed that Raul Gutierrez was able to take control of the gun robbers fired at him during the robbery here at his donut shop back in March. Well, tonight, Raul is very thankful the suspects are behind bars.
It was about 5:30 a.m. March 22nd. The donuts freshly made, and Raul Gutierrez expecting a typical day at the donut shop he owns with his wife. Then he saw 2 people wearing masks and sweatshirts come in. One had a gun.
I told them just take whatever you want, and they say just shut up, and they kept coming to me with a gun and pointing the gun to myself and pulling me back to the back. So
even though Raul gave them what they wanted, this 45-year-old father thought they were going to kill him no matter what.
Try not to get shot, try to survive, try to keep the gun away from my direction so it won't get to me.
So Raul fought back. As he tried to take the gun away, he wrestled with the suspect who kept aiming at him. During the struggle, Raul managed to take the magazine out.
He pulled the trigger and I heard a click, and that's what happened.
They actually tried to shoot you?
Yeah. One was saying, shoot him or get him.
Raul says the other suspect then picked up the magazine and hit him in the face, splitting his lip and brow before they took off. Burbank police say the evidence left behind during the robbery helped them identify their suspects. With the help of the Glendale PD and LAPD, investigators connected the duo to 5 other armed robberies.
I'm happy that they caught them, and probably they won't do something to somebody else or come back here.
Police say they arrested a 20-year-old man and a 20-year-old woman from South Los Angeles. They say they found clothing used during the robbery inside one of their homes. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Rachel. An area off San Onofre Beach is closed until Wednesday after a single mom of 3 was attacked by a shark.
Now here's the latest at 11. She is still in critical condition. Leanne Erickson was swimming near a surf spot called Church on Saturday when a shark clamped down on her leg. According to surfers, she was wearing a wetsuit and fins near her boyfriend who was on a board when the attack happened.
Montana police say a trail of blood led them to a man who broke into a home and stabbed the owner. Officers say Lonnie Schrum attacked the man with a large kitchen knife and ran away. The victim is now in critical condition. Schrum was found at a halfway house where he'd been staying.
A family is taking legal action after a teen was attacked outside a Wendy's restaurant in West Hills. A lawsuit is now filed against Wendy's, a shopping center management firm, and 3 teenagers. The suit claims the restaurant and firm tolerated rowdy school children for years before the December attack.
I'm doing better, obviously, since I'm not the same as I was, but I'm not 100%.
Both Wendy's and the management firm declined to comment.
Need some help? We got a baby! Call 911, baby!
This heart-stopping video is going viral of a group of people rushing to rescue a family from flooding near Dallas. As they try to rip open doors, they realize a baby and 2-year-old are trapped inside with their father.
Well, once they get the children out, they see the children are not breathing and they start CPR as another woman prays for survival.
Blowing them out! Hi, baby, come on. Baby. Come on, baby. In the name of Jesus. She is breathing. She's breathing. There she goes.
You have no idea how good it feels to know that people were there to help her. That they risked their lives jumping in to save my kids.
The father and baby are doing well tonight, and 2-year-old Addie is still in the hospital, but she is recovering well, and she's expected to breathe on her own soon.
Yeah, that is great news. A sexual predator alert in Orange County. A man has been arrested in Seal Beach, accused of raping a woman he met on an online dating service.
And CBS 2's Stacy Butler is live outside the Orange County DA's office with new information. Stacy.
Oh, Pat and Rick, this guy was arrested over the weekend and he already made bail. Tonight, investigators need your help to find possibly more victims.
It's just shocking. I mean, it makes me kind of nervous to actually go and meet a stranger.
Strong reaction tonight from women in Seal Beach after police arrested 35-year-old Robert Lua Saturday on suspicion of raping a woman he met on eHarmony, an online dating site.
It's become so common that that's the way everybody meets people nowadays. So I don't think people even think of that fact, really.
Police say Lua from Seal Beach had a relationship with his victim before they claim he held her against her will and raped her. Police won't say if Lua used other dating websites or apps as well as eHarmony, but they believe there may be more victims out there. On social media posts that appear to be the same man, Lua describes himself as the food and beverage manager at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Single women who date online say it brings up old fears of taking risks with men they don't know.
You don't know. I mean, you could meet a guy and he could say he's one thing, and online you don't know who he is.
Does this concern you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What goes through your head about this?
That I want to be way more careful, and I don't know if I actually want to keep meeting strangers.
And if you have any information, Seal Beach Police would like to hear from you. That's the latest from Santa Ana. Back to you guys in the studio.
So marches turned violent on this May Day. In Portland, demonstrators threw bottles and fireworks at officers. In New York, at least a dozen people were arrested. In Paris, several officers were hurt when they were hit with fire bombs. Police responded by firing tear gas. But a calmer scene in the Southland. Thousands gathered in different areas, including downtown LA, where protesters marched for 2.5 hours. There was a clash with President Trump's supporters, and a man who allegedly set an American flag on fire was arrested for arson.
Republican opposition is growing to President Trump's third push to repeal and replace Obamacare. In a CBS News interview, the president insisted the new version of his party's bill does not weaken protections for the sick.
But the revamped GOP bill gives states the power to let insurers charge ill people more. No vote is actually set because the revamped version of the GOP health care bill is primarily supported by party hardliners.
Tonight, an in-depth look at the shifting gears of Southern California's car culture. By the end of the year, some driverless cars will be on local freeways and roads. So which companies are racing to put their models to the test? And just how do they stay on the road? CBS 2's Crystal Cruz shows us what it takes to go hands-free.
Insane mode.
Oh my God! Hold on, this is happening and fast. The future is near. Manufacturers are putting the pedal to the metal on developing fully autonomous or self-driving cars, says car expert Mike Caudill.
There are roughly 20 different automakers that are saying by 2020 they'll have fully autonomous vehicles in the market.
From Ford to Toyota, and the list goes on.
When you talk about real autonomy, it's about taking your hands off the wheel and being able to focus on other things inside the car.
Google's working on a driverless car, describing it as just a person in a car, no steering wheel, no pedals, just a passenger going here and there. That's different from a semi-autonomous car that needs a driver, but the car can brake for you and change lanes like Tesla's autopilot feature. However, Tesla hit a road bump when a driver was killed using autopilot. Technology attorney Jonathan Handel.
If autonomous cars aren't done right, they may introduce new forms of fatalities that could replace the old and may be unnecessary.
According to the National Safety Council, up to 40,000 people die in car crashes yearly. Some say autonomous cars using sensors can reduce that number by reducing human error. Others fear so-called robot cars rely on shaky safety standards and shared concerns at a public DMV hearing last month.
Computers are not perfect, and systems are not perfect.
AAA is keeping their eye on developments and say people are interested in newer technology.
But when they think about a fully self-driving car, that's still a concern for a lot of people.
Oh, where's it going? Baby boomers are more cautious about self-driving cars than, say, millennials, according to AAA.
So what are we looking at as far as prices are concerned?
You will see vehicles on the market from a mainstream transportation standpoint that will be in that high $20,000, $30,000 range.
Uber is working on a driverless car with Ford. DMV is working on regulations, and we could see driverless cars on the road by the end of the year.
Riding along in my automobile.
And that's all you might be doing in these driverless cars, just riding around, no longer driving. More like being chauffeured around, like the passenger in this Mercedes.
You're going to be able to do anything you do in your living room in your car. With autonomy, you're going to get in, you're going to plug in an address, you're going to sit back, relax, take a nap, use your cell phone, and the vehicle is going to take you from point A to point B.
Well, don't fret if you love your time behind the wheel.
Car experts say that manufacturers will continue to make cars for those who like to drive.
Yeah, well, people are already doing stuff when they're supposed to have their hands on the wheel now,
I just
so might as well hurry up.
I just can't imagine. Right. Like what? Besides texting and what?
And a little bit of this, maybe?
Right. Having dinner? I don't know, Jackie. I mean, I guess the possibilities are endless, huh?
Yes, and you know what would be good for us, Pat?
Yes.
The directions.
You know it.
Man,
Maybe you just
say that
type
again.
in where to go, and it takes you.
Did you hear Mr. Garcia?
Yeah.
What did you say, Rick?
I said you could say that again, Jackie. My gosh.
Yes, Pat and I might be guilty of getting lost one or two times, even together. All right, well, happy Monday, everyone. You know who's not getting lost? Guy 2, right over the San Gabriel Valley on this Monday night. We've got nice, clear skies out there after a warm, sunny day here in the Southland. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. The warming trend will continue. In fact, the hottest day is the middle of the week, but keep in mind, by the end of that 7-day forecast, we even have a chance of showers and much cooler weather. So we've got a lot to talk about for this week weather-wise. Temps today, 10 degrees above average, 85 degrees downtown. We're looking at temperatures into the low 70s in San Bernardino, upper 60s in Riverside, 64 in Santa Ana, 69 in Van Nuys, cooling down to the 50s in Camarillo. So high pressure is the reason for the heat for about the next 3 days. After that, That ridge will break down, trough of low pressure starts to dig in, and what that does is move down the coast, and by the weekend we will have clouds, cooler temperatures, and that's right, a chance of some light showers. And that will continue through early next week when it does start to stall out right over the Southland. So for tonight, mostly clear skies across much of the Southland except right along the coast. Some fog and some low clouds will develop. You will see it tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon we are looking at a warm sunny day. Next 3 days, mid to upper 70s at the coast, mid to lower 80s in the LA metro areas, 90s in the valleys, and then by Saturday into Sunday, that's when we've got that increasing cloud cover, and then Sunday into Monday next week, chance of rain to snow in the IE and the high desert. It is going to be hot with highs into the low 90s. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jackie. Special musical tonight in Beverly Hills. It was put on by the Miracle Project, which helps kids, teens, and young adults with autism express themselves.
And tonight's show was called Work in Progress and followed the lives of young adults as they transition to the workplace.
Oh, that Missy Lane does some wonderful, wonderful work with those young people there. Do your straight lashes need a lift?
The popular technique to give you an amazing lash lift without makeup.
Plus, Madonna's camouflage ensemble did anything but blend in. See some of the craziest looks from tonight's Met Gala.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're CBS LA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you see news happening, share your story ideas, photos, and video by using the hashtag CBSLA. Tammy Faye Baker once said, "Honey, I'm going to go to my grave with my eyelashes and my makeup on."
She said it, well, something like that. It was good, Rick. You know, we love our lashes, and CBS 2's Suzanne Marquez shows us a trick to skip the mascara.
False eyelashes, lash extensions, eyelash curling, we've tried it all. But have you given your lashes a lift?
This is going to give you that open-eyed curl that everyone's looking for.
You wouldn't think these naturally beautiful lashes needed any more help.
But if you have like some, strong, thick lashes that are maybe very straight, you're going to get a really nice result.
Here at the Vogue Lash Bar in North Hollywood, straight lashes are getting perms. Here's how it works. These little curling rods hold each lash in place.
This is going to give her a nice open-eyed look without being too curly.
After 45 minutes of perming, conditioning, neutralizing, and nourishing, the results are quite uplifting.
Okay, I'm going to hand you a mirror.
Wow, this is amazing.
Remember our model's lashes before the lift? Here's what they look like after.
Unbelievable.
So if you have straight lashes and want to skip your mascara routine,
I would try a lash lift because it really is just going to open up that eye, make them look bigger, and make you feel more confident.
Suzanne Marquez, CBS 2 News.
There you go. Well, an eyelash lift at the Vogue Lash Bar costs $100, and it lasts 4 to 6 weeks.
I can't get Jimmy Hill in here fast enough. And he's going to talk about Dodgers and Giants.
Good evening, everyone. We begin sports tonight with the baseball and the Dodgers, who began a 3-game homestand against the San Francisco Giants. Here we go, Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers this evening, but it didn't take long for the Giants to get to him. In the first inning, Hunter Pence drives it to left field. This is a 2-run homer, and already San Francisco has a 2-0 lead. Kershaw's really giving himself some run support, down 2-1 in the second inning. He lines it to left field. Cody Bellinger comes around from second base and just gets under the tag at the plate of Posey. And of course, now it's all tied at 2. The Giants continue to get to the Dodgers ace in the third inning. Now Posey drills it to left field for a solo home run. Kershaw gets his first home loss in over a year, and the Giants win it 4-3.
They kept chipping away and adding a run there. So again, I thought they had a really good game plan tonight and got a couple big hits.
Now to pro football, and the Rams will be without cornerback Troy Hill. He was suspended for the first 2 games of the regular season by the NFL for violating the league's substance abuse policy. Now, the league did not release the details regarding the violation. Hill will not be eligible to return to the roster until September the 18th. Still no comment from the Rams regarding this suspension. All right, here we go at the NBA playoffs. James Harden and the Rockets at San Antonio for Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. Rockets up 60-35 in the second quarter. That's right, 60-35. Harden makes one of the Rockets' franchise playoff record 22 three-pointers. And things got a little testy. Look at this at the end of the quarter. Harden and Dwayne Dedmon going face-to-face. Nene was kicked out for grabbing one's face. And, of course, that's a no-no in professional sports. The Rockets really crushed the Spurs. Can you believe that? 126-91. Meanwhile, LeBron James and the Cavaliers opening up in the Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Raptors. Early first quarter, it's LeBron with the steal. He feeds Kyrie Irving, who takes it down and gives it back to James off the board. Pat likes that for the big slam dunk. LeBron with 35 points on the evening. He and the Cavaliers cruise to a 116-105 victory in game number 1 of the best-of-7 series. And that's a look at sports for the 11 o'clock hour. We will hear from Doc Rivers on their disappointing end to their regular season probably on Wednesday sometime.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Just before Colbert, never a dull moment at the Met Gala. See tonight's jaw-dropping looks.
Well, it is one of the hottest nights in the fashion world.
Just before Colbert, take a look at the Met Gala.
Toyota Corolla for only $167 per month.
Come experience the difference a family-owned dealership can make.
Cars and Toyota.
Well, it is one of the hottest nights in the fashion world.
Just before Colbert, take a look at the Met Gala. It was a night of color and couture. All eyes were on Katy Perry, who worked an all-red dress, veil, and headpiece. Author and daughter of President JFK, Caroline Kennedy, made a bold statement with a floral sphere-like dress.
Well, the outfit of the night, though, was worn by Riri. The singer stole the show in a red gown that looked like a flower blooming. Tickets to the gala start at $30,000 each, but you must have an invitation. I just love looking at some of these creations.
It's like your Super Bowl.
Don't look at me. I'll never be there watching or anything else.
Yeah, right. The fashion Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, the Oscars.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is next.